Hello and welcome to another one of these ADD videos. Today we're going to be looking at some examples of the Pythagorean identities. A quick recap, these are the three main identities. You can use the first one to get the last two by dividing by either cosine squared or sine squared. So now let's look at these two examples. First example is this one here. And with identities, what I like to do is I usually try to refrain from working on both sides. I try to look at one side and make it look like the other side. So in this case, this being the higher power, it'd probably be easier to simplify this one into this one. So here I have that as a difference of two squares, right? They're both even powers. So I can factor that as the square root of both terms. And one of them is going to get a plus sign, and the other one's going to get a minus sign. And then if you remember this first spot right here, this whole thing equals 1. So you can see how algebra is still playing a factor in your trigonometry. So in this case, that equals the right-hand side, so we're done. They're not going to all be this easy. These are the Pythagorean identities, the first set of identities, so can't really go too far with them. Those of you that have already studied all your identities should recognize this as an identity. I'll give you a second to think about it. What does this equal? Those of you that said cosine 2x are on point, and or 2 theta, I guess in this case, are on top of your game. But this question didn't ask us to go that far because we don't know that identity according to this video yet. So we would stop at this previous step and we would be done. Okay? As long as the left side equals the right side. Now on this one, it's a little different. We have a common term that I see right away, so I'm going to factor it out. And when I factor it out, I get cosine squared minus 1, which is almost the identity I need, right? How would I make it cosine squared minus 1 into something I can use? Well, if these two had their sign switched, in other words, if I'd factor out a negative sine squared instead of a positive one, this would now become negative, and this would be positive. So hopefully you can see that if I rewrite it, maybe it's a little bit more apparent that this whole thing becomes sine squared. And then when you multiply two sine squares together, you get a sine to the fourth. Again, these are pretty basic examples because you only have 3 identities to work with at this point. Watch some of the later videos, you'll see that they get a lot more complex. So the best way to overcome any fear you might have, anxiety with these identities, or any common mistakes you keep making, is just to do good 50 of them, 40 of them. Who has that kind of time? Not many people, so try 20. Or just do them until you get it right. Alright? So practice, practice, practice is what I'm trying to say. And I hope I've cleared up any confusion that you might have. Thank you and have a nice day.